Hey everybody, welcome to a video. Yes, I found the password again to upload videos. But no, in all seriousness, quick PSA in case you're not aware. I've mostly stopped doing videos, at least for the time being, and decided to just stream 2 to 3 times a week if I can. Instead, because it's generally easier, even though or it may appear like I'm investing more time into streaming because they're around 2 hours long each time I do. It's actually easier for me to do than prepare a video or find even a good game in the first place and upload that, because sometimes streams can have not so great games, but then it's whatever. So yeah, mainly doing streams in case you're not aware. They're of course immediately uploaded after on YouTube, which we probably have seen, but I don't really know. Sometimes the YouTube subscription box, etc., just does weird stuff. So just in case YouTube hasn't informed you, yeah, they're essentially still like videos, honestly, so they're not really that different. Just skip through them if you don't want to listen to me rambling around between games, but they should still be just as watchable as normal videos. Now, I thought every now and then I have some very interesting or very weird or very fun or very tense games, and why not just cast them as replays afterwards? Or not necessarily cast them, but go into detail, explain my thinking, and just highlight some stuff that's been happening. So that's what I'm gonna do here. That's what you hopefully can expect every now and then in the future as well. I have at least one more replay that I really want to show, and this is from like 1.5 weeks ago or something. I was playing Red Dragons Armored, I think, in ranked. This was really one of the craziest games I've ever played. I have not seen the replay myself yet. I've of course played it, but I have not seen anything from the replay itself, so I have not seen my opponent's perspective. For the first couple of minutes, I'm just gonna do my perspective only, and then I'm gonna switch over, and you'll see why. Um, I think I also built the deck live on stream, and if I don't forget, I'm also gonna link the timestamp of the stream where this game happened. Now, my plan here was basically I want to push Ivan. I think that has happened to me from the opposite side not too long ago, where I got pushed here, and I just was like, why not? Why not try it? I'm playing Red Dragon's Armored. I wanted to focus mainly on like John Mahos because the air spawn is so close, and Red Dragon's Armored AA is pretty bad versus planes. So getting a T90 here is very risky as planes coming in so quickly and being in range so fast, and me not having any good anti-plane AA with such a long reinforcement route wouldn't have been very good in my eyes. Now, of course, in the first place, you probably shouldn't do this anyway if you have such bad anti-plane AA, but on stream, etc., I try to do strategies that I may not always do that often or are necessarily as advisable. Now, this actually, I'm gonna wait until it happens. CV for borders, of course, but still a reasonable amount of force on the right. Yeah, flamethrower for town, man pads, 80 GM teams, Type 59 ones for the close range AP scaling. Nothing really too crazy. PGA C88, not really for proper anti-air, although of course it does have good range and is serviceable against normal helicopters, but also for the air detection. I think this is my only radar AA piece in this tank, and it really is only for air detection, because I've previously relied only on Hwasong Jongs and manpads, but their problem is they lack the air detection. They have significantly worse air detection than PGC-88. So yeah, I spot the Mi-17. I would always unload preemptively here if I don't have a recon helicopter, which in hindsight I really should have started with. Especially on a map like this. I don't know why I didn't, now that I think about it. Why did I not start with a recon helicopter? Anyway, unload preemptively here because, of course, nothing here in terms of wheel stuff has got optics, so I unload preemptively so I don't lose the recon. I realize there's something going on. I immediately buy some additional A because one PGC-88 is not particularly good. So I'm mainly focused on this part of the map. Generally speaking, I might or probably will just lose this here, but it's whatever. I think the sound is maybe a bit messed up. Let me just quickly. All right. Mi2. yeah, whatever. I quickly notice. Yeah. I quickly notice. All right, there's not much here, so I decided to just keep fast moving for the time being. I can't open the model viewer in the replay, but I think those were just, I don't know, some PT-76. It's something pretty cheap, nothing strong. So it's like, let's just fast move, immediately get into cover here, and stop the enemy from reinforcing. I didn't even notice what happened here, so I'm curious here. Hwasung Chong gets immediately sniped. It does hit it, but I didn't even realize it just yet. I think this is the moment where I realize. No, what I should have done here. What I should have done here is just keep moving. Because then the Salamander will every now and then just get line of sight with the Coco M, but then immediately lose it again. And that way I waste the Coco M's. Now I start moving. Oh yeah, by the way, those were OT 810Ds, like 10-point garbage stuff. Start moving. And then for some reason decide to stop. And then I want to even miss like the other Coco M as well. But yeah, there's also so-called. I'm like, okay, whatever. Sucks to be me, I guess. I lost 120 points, I lost some time here. It could be worse, right? I also put this in the deck because I never really use it, and I wanted to give it another shot. It's not really horrible, but I was like, why not? Why not give it a try, right? Honestly, kind of disappointed me here, not gonna lie. Oh, I actually don't even fully remember what happened here. They probably shouldn't be here in the first place. With the MS-17 here, unload so I can delay the push here into the town. Definitely should not have unloaded them there. But it is what it is. Still, I get a decent position up there. And decide to buy a CV. Get hit on here, the other missile misses. And now, I didn't even realize that. I think that... Yep. Wow. Alright. Spoilers. There's a CV in there. And this is where we're switched off here. I didn't even realize that, wow. If the MiG-29 hadn't fucked up, I would have killed that CV here. Huh. Is this landed? Landed, very nice, very smart. Very well done. Buy an MI-25, I think because it was like, I spotted like this drop 2 here. I just wanted to make sure that nothing unloaded here or something. Because again, I saw that the MI-17 and was like, oh, that better not unload anything in there. But yeah, let's switch this up. At this point, I'm still like, okay, whatever, right? I forgot about this drop 2, which is why I lose the MI-25 in a second. And yeah, even like I'm a Strop 2 hater, right? I'm a certified Strop 2 hater, and I lost my MiG-29 to it. I'm actually kind of disappointed in the MiG. Like, it didn't survive a single Strop 2, which was not veteran at the moment it killed it, and it failed to kill the MS-17. So much for Lazur on steroids. Anyway, I lose Boris, which is of course horrible, like really horrible. I was like, huh. First instinct is like, alright, let's just build up a push to attack Boris. But then I'm like, that's not gonna work. Right? If this wasn't a spawn zone, it would have worked because my spawn is here. But my opponent literally has a spawn here, and I have no units prepared for an immediate push, right? So it's not like I have a point advantage in terms of units. And it's not even like, forget about the units that he has here, right? I barely paid attention to what is here in the first place, right? So I had to focus on here as well, so I was like, I don't really know what exactly is in Boris other than a CV and like this drop 2 and whatever pushed here. But again, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention at the forces that came through here. Now, so my first instinct was push Boris, and then I was immediately realized, no, that's just not gonna work. So I thought, alright, we gotta do a Hail Mary push to Territon. I barely lost anything here, which is good, right? Shamahos are almost full HP, I have some CTQs, I have some QW1s, I still have a PGC, I have a mortar still, right? So at least my Ivan push is alive and healthy. But of course I also gotta make sure that, you know, a single SPW8 or something isn't just gonna drive up and kill my stuff. So ideally I still wanna secure this, and luckily at least, there's a lot of open feet here. So if there's a push happening, you can spot it relatively early. So I also get an MI2 exactly for that reason. Really should have started with that. To also spot like the Salamander or something, so I could maybe have bought the MiG-29 much earlier instead of those 2 QW1s on the left, you know. Could have, would have, should have, right? But yeah, I was like, alright, I gotta push for Sheridan, but at the same time, that also immediately came to my mind, right? For one, I don't want to push too early, right? I don't want to do a half-ass push that's just gonna get tracked by a single medium tank and like a bomber or something. But at the same time, I don't want to wait too long. If I wait too long, my opponent might just guess that's what's gonna happen. Because, you know, open field works both ways, right? He can also just as easily see that I'm not pushing here. Or rather, if I push here, it's gonna give him ample time as well. So he might guess there's a push coming here, or he might just scout it out. So it's like, I gotta find the middle, like the perfect middle ground. Don't take too long, but also don't make too rash of a decision. I also decided I had that civvy that I originally bought for Boris, right? Just gonna leave it here and put my tank civvy up front. I don't wanna, you know, spend another point on tank civvy, like any more points on tank civvies. Also, previously, right? All the time I've used the Chinese tank civvy because it's a better top armor. But I felt in 1 vs 1s, while cluster planes have become more of a thing, cluster MLRS still is pretty rare. The most common one is really the LAR 160, honestly. And against something like, especially LAR 160, that top armor definitely does make a very noticeable difference. But the John Mahou actually is better side armor, which helps against artillery. 3 vs 4 side, or 3 vs 4 armor, not insignificant for reducing HE damage. And of course, keep in mind, right, the side is essentially almost, you know, if we ignore direct top hits, side armor is essentially like 50% of the area that could get hit by incoming artillery shells, right? So losing 1 front and 1 top for 1 additional side armor, and being 15 points cheaper for the same speed as well, which is something to keep in mind. Honestly worth it. So I've actually switched to John Mahou, which is the same price as this thing, although worse availability, admittedly. Yeah, so what I've also been doing is, for one, this was alive, so I could stamp like I-17. Also decided to drive in just some 5-pointers over here to make him think that I'm probing Dimitri, and maybe I want to push Dimitri, right? Create some diversion. Making sure that no recon sneaks through across. Let me actually see, right? No recon sneaks through. Move up these CDQs to try to kill those SPW-40s. I mean, in this case, to save my DRAN. But also, I want to make sure that nothing crosses here as well. So at this point, because I'm like, that's the only shot. I gotta get the spawn. And in the long run, I still gotta get at least 1 zone here as well. Also get some supply, because I will need fuel as well. John Mahous don't have the best fuel economy. Acceptable amount of autonomy and not so great off-road speed, right? Keep in mind, autonomy is a timer, right? So, kilometers is really just seconds. 550 seconds is the time it can move. So off-road speed does have an impact if you drive off-road, right? If you have the same autonomy but different off-road speed, then you use less fuel over the same course of off-road distance. Right, so I was like, alright, get a bit of fuel, get some John Mahous, get some meat shields, keep the CV far enough behind, and just drive across. Get an Su-27 SK in case there's a bomber. Although it's still gonna be almost impossible to drop to stop a bomber from dropping stuff here. Let me actually just double check. Interesting. So very light actually. There's an SPW-80 here. I think yeah, didn't quite. Oh yeah, saved points for bomber. There we go. 27 SK misses and hit. Yeah, doesn't really do much. Kind of a disappointing plane, but yeah. MiG-29 was pretty off, although it did some not insignificant damage to my John Mahou. But it's not too horrible, all things considered. I'm probably gonna lose my supply trucks here. I sent them up as well. Didn't even notice. Still kept that circling. Spotted a John Mahou, but luckily there's my meat shields. BGC 88s are also gonna be reasonable meat shields with the 7 front armor. shooting at the fob. What do I have here? I think I lost some Chun Mahos here as well. There's a dead Chun Maho. That's a CCQ. Didn't I have a third Chun Maho 5? Oh, it's coming back there. Yeah, okay. Kill that Chun Maho in there. Sorry, I can't talk. Kill that work there. This Chun Maho is panicked, but keep in mind that the veterancy has a direct impact on how fast you recover from being panicked. Luckily, it's on elite, so the accuracy is actually pretty good. Capture the farm, which is nice. And then just, of course, immediately I gotta find the CV. Like, waiting for the flames to recover. At this point, I'm like, they're probably gonna be gone any second now, so I start driving through. Maybe a bit risky. Very risky, in fact. Oh my god! I should not have done that. Holy shit. Almost killed my CV with that. There's so many situations there where... Oh. Anyway. Kill the other Wilk. This Wilk should really not have a chance. It has worse AP and armor than me, which at max range is probably more important than the extra RPM it gets. I bought 3 J7s just guessing where the CV might be. This, luckily for me, caused the BMP2 to briefly move, and I immediately bought these Type 59s. It might not look like it, but they were bought at the moment I had control of the zone, right? Termho is standing still. I was like, also was like, the moment it is in there, I have to stop it. Can't allow my opponent to buy any units, right? Doesn't even spot it either. Not like it matters. Can't buy planes without an air spawn. But yeah, I can't move this at all. Can't allow any more units to be bought. J7 actually stuns us a bit. MI17 shouldn't do much, although I think it does end up killing a Chun Maho here if I remember correctly. Yep, it does. I pointed at the wrong one. AGC 88 that just didn't have proper line of sight there. And those Type 59s from the rear and in this close range will just murder the Wilk. Meanwhile, nothing really happening here. Both of us very focused on this. Also put this here just to stop like MI2s or something like that. Kill the CV here. Immediately bought a spare CV. And then I was like... And that's not what I should have done. Also, did I snipe the CV here? I didn't. Oh yeah, I tried to snipe the CV here. Just guessing. Yeah. At this point, I was like, I want to go for Gregory, right? I still have units here, but in hindsight, spoilers, probably not the right decision. For one, I'm gonna take a good amount of time to like not recover, but like gather my forces here, repair stuff up, make sure that I dealt with all the units all the stragglers and such. In hindsight, I should have gone for Dimitri, I think. Because that is far enough away from spawns. Close enough away to my spawns, but it's still closer to our opponent. I think at this point, I'm taking way too long to do anything to properly push into Gregory. And with the town here and the forest here, there's just a lot of cover. But yeah, also my opponent, of course, up 300 points. And you can see how long I'm taking here, right? So it really is not the right decision. I didn't even realize that. It really is not the right decision. Unless, of course, I can keep my plane train going, right? That's the other thing. I bought a Feibao seat. I still had my 3 J7s. So I was like, maybe if I can keep a plane train going, this works. And then I was like, you know, what if I attack across this open field and just ignore this part, right? Because assaulting this is going to be really difficult with towns and with LSTRs. LSTRs are just going to be a nightmare for me to deal with. So what if I just ignore this? And it actually kind of works, right? There's currently nothing that can really challenge me. Then I see the Salamandra coming in, but I still have my mortar and I have a PGC 88 coming, so I should be fine. Also bought a CV here and another one there. So I'm gonna be at a +2, +4 in a bit. 1 J7 I think got damaged or even killed by the Tor. Just bombing down here. A very good radar micro by the opponent, honestly. This seed unfortunately misses, probably because I think it was even a crit because this vetted up. And while it looked like maybe it wasn't a crit. There's 2 hits here. One, I think that you can see like a slight curve here. That was from the LSTR. So I guess, okay, well, while I was playing, I thought it was a crit. Turns out I don't think it was. Oh, wow, they're really upvetting the LSTR, huh? That's bold. I would never upvet LSTR, honestly. I mean, they're still fine. You still get 7 of them, but they're just way too valuable. I love them way too much to like get fewer of them. And this is unspec, of course, so they are upvetted. This wasn't a crit, but still Feibao. It's a quote-unquote elite seed plane with only 40% ECM, right? It's just such a disappointing plane. The seed missile, I'm pretty sure, missed because it was the angle. This missile just couldn't turn fast enough. It's 70% base accuracy. And yeah, those Tors. And at that point, plane train's not gonna work. 2 Tors, LSTR, it's just not gonna work. So yeah, my Gurgir push honestly was doomed from the get-go. So I really should have pushed Dimitri, and yeah, spoilers, that's basically the game. Yeah, Dimitri, it's really hard to really get the jump on our opponent, because from a position like this, outside of like getting the Cheriton, because it's just so easy to spot something. Yeah, because with Dimitri, at the very least, I think what I could have done is, for one, this from this force is essentially just that force, right? I can smoke this off, and then with enough smoke, get like probably like a foothold in here, and with this being far enough away from the spawns, maybe I could have done more here with my planes than right next to the spawns, which just knew I could immediately be bought. Oh wow, it spotted this from here, huh? But yeah. Then I buy Talk Johns. Also wanted to try them out. Well, I give them another shot. They're honestly fine. I knew they were fine, but I wanted to put them in just because I can. Maybe, and I was like, if I can get the lucky CV snap here, because I knew it was in the town, maybe I can make something work. I actually do spot them, and luckily I have a hind here. Just bought a hind here at some point to have it as a like defensive unit in case something happens. Moderna gets bought, which is gonna be rough to deal with. I lose more planes, I think. J7s again don't manage to kill the CV. T72S as well on top of that. Yeah. It's just gonna be rough. I can't really get any tick on unless I snipe the CV, but I don't know anything about the CV placements here. And yeah. Then I try to feel like, okay, let's see what's in the town. Watch it's 90, alright. They keep missing because I'm watch it's 90 and the RPG7 VR really sucks. And try something here, but it's just, yeah, no real support here, and it's GG. Still though, I wasn't. I suggest you're really gonna watch it, the VOD of it. It was an experience playing that. Let me put it that way. I was, you can see it. I was honestly never mad. I was like, the moment my spawn got captured, I was like, holy shit, this guy is amazing. But also let this be a lesson to you. For one, don't listen to me, because in a scenario like this, having a Jeep CV would have been really nice, because it would have meant I'd captured the second spawn much earlier and could have fought immediate reinforcements, because it's almost always the first thing you should do the moment you captured it. So there are still reasons to put in Jeep CVs. An armor deck, for example, is one of them. If you're not playing armored, then you can get 150k mage CVs that aren't Jeeps, so no excuse there. But if you're playing an armored deck, let it be on record. There are reasons to run Jeep CVs, even if it might not look like it. And on top of that, go open with like a Rican helicopter on a nuclear winter, right? That's what you get, right? That is why even like basic bitch ass Rican helicopters, like an Mi-1, right? Slow as fuck, can't do nothing but spawn, are still so valuable. Let me actually double, like, just get the opener from the neutral perspective. If I had a Rican helicopter there, I would have seen a Salamandra, I would have seen the Sokol. I would have lost my Mi-1, of course, almost certainly, unless I got incredibly lucky and the Sokol missed like 3 missiles in a row. Yeah. It was honestly an amazing game. It was really fun, even though we lost. I lost. I don't know why I keep saying we. Oh, interesting. Oh no, he just screwed up with the with loading and unloading. I was like, oh, it was changing transports. No, just accidentally unloaded. Yeah, would have spotted the Salamandra, right? And then I would have immediately been like, oh shit, I don't know where the Salamandra is. Either let me buy a MiG-29. Or hold on. This is, I think, 50 points. I think the man pets are 20 points, QW1s. We're a minute and a half in. Minute and a half is already more than 100 points, right? 1 minute is 105 points. So that's 160, almost 170 points. If I had not bought them, and even if I had bought them, that's still like almost enough to buy MiG-29. So at this point, right, I could have already bought a MiG-29 to snipe them. Right? So that's so on me. I hope I never like gave anyone the impression that I was like blaming anyone but myself in this game, right? And I'm not being sarcastic here. I'm. Let this be a lesson. Hubris is one mean mother trucker. Although that kill was a bit of BS, but it's just a general helicopter bullet crap, right? Honestly, and also very good reaction. Uh, it doesn't always pay off to like go for gambles, but he said in chat that the moment he saw me push like this, he was like, "That's his only chance," and he went for it, and it worked out perfectly. I'm not even mad. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was just, was all over the place. And let me know what you think. I'm definitely gonna do a few more every now and then. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Tune into the streams or just watch the VODs as normal videos. Really, that's what they are at the end of the day. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully see you in the next one or the next stream. Bye bye.